then let's address the weakness that we're seeing in stocks like Muthoot Finance and Manappuram General Finance. Gold loan companies are under pressure because RBI has restricted NBFCs with respect to cash disbursement on gold loans to 20,000 rupees versus 1 lakh earlier. Nischint Chawathe, the senior analyst at Kotak Institutional Equities, joins us on the line from Mumbai. Hi Nischint, afternoon, and thanks so much for waiting by. First, so far we've understood that this is applicable only for cash against gold loans. But in your understanding, this is actually applicable for disbursements and repayments across all categories of NBFCs, and therefore the affected parties are not just the Manappurams and Muthoot Finances of the world?
Yeah, that's right. It would be a whole gamut of NBFCs that are transacting in cash are the ones that would be affected. Now, just to give a backdrop of this, earlier you had a regulation on only for which was restricting only gold loan NBFCs. There was no comment on whether there are any restrictions on other NBFCs as such. What RBI has done is RBI has deleted that particular section, and RBI has introduced another section in the master circulars where they are kind of saying that you need to comply with the regulations as per the Income Tax Act. So the way we read this is that this is a different section in the master circulars, so which means that it is applicable to all the NBFCs. Now there are two sections that they are referring to on the Income Tax Act. One pertains to loan repayments and the other pertains to loan disbursements. And which is where we are saying that, look, both repayments and disbursements are the ones which could get affected because of this regulation.
Okay, Nischint, can you repeat which is the section they have changed?
Sorry, I don't have the text.
No, you just began by saying that they have not just revised for gold. Exactly which part have they revised that make you feel that it is not just gold?
No, sorry. What they have done is that there was a particular section in the regulations which says that in case of gold loans, disbursements above 1 lakh should be by check. Now what they have done is they have completely removed this particular section, and elsewhere in the document they have put in a section which says that all NBFCs need to comply with so and so section of the Income Tax Act.
Oh, okay.
So because they are not saying gold loan NBFCs should comply. Earlier they said that for gold loans you need to have a 1 lakh cap or so.
Okay.
So which is the reason the interpretation is that all NBFCs would be affected with.
But would one would have thought that only microfinance companies whose average ticket size is probably 25,000-30,000 would be disbursing in cash. You have given a reduce on not just Bharat Financial but also on M&M Finance, Shriram City Union, Shriram Transport. Do these guys disburse cash to such an extent?
No, sorry. So I think we have had a reduced rating on two of these names, which is Shriram City and Bharat Financial.
Okay.
And we have an ad rating on Shriram, so we that thing stays that doesn't really change.
Okay.
The point is that we are now looking not at the disbursements but the collection side of it. So for some of the companies like Shriram's, they were about 50 to 60% of the collections are in cash. Even for a company like Mahindra, etc., some part of cash they do collect because they are constantly chasing borrowers for recoveries, etc. So to that extent, there is some element of cash collection which is very much there in the business. Okay. So this is we are referring to these companies more because of the collections part and not on the disbursements part.
Which Shriram are you referring to? Transport or City Union?
Both.
Okay. So growth rates will be unaffected because you're saying only collections will be impacted, disbursement should be on track. And also if you could explain the cap of 20,000 on every borrower, how will that impact the situation in NBFCs?
See, the point is obviously at this point of time we don't have full clarity as to how some of these things play out. Again, what we are saying is our interpretations. I'm sure there is going to be some to and fro, some clarification from RBI and all that. So these things will happen. So till then, we are not really making any comment on how growth or some of these other dynamics play out. Now, somewhere in the Income Tax Act, what they are also saying is that this particular 20,000 limit is on the overall loan amount that we are talking about. So even if now one way of interpreting it is that even if you're making a part repayment of that 20,000, you need to comply with the regulation of checks. So that is something which I'm sure it's going to be debated, and that's something that they will clarify from the RBI.
Okay, but in all probability, all repayments above 20,000 are going to be in non-cash. If at all there is any tweaking, you expect it only if the amounts themselves, the repayment amounts are below 20,000, is it?
Yeah, so the point is there are two things. One is the loan amount being 20,000 and whether you are actually repaying 20,000 or whether you are repaying 5 or 10,000.
Okay.
So the thing is, one can say that, okay, fine, every installment should be more than 20,000.
Okay.
So it is applicable. So then obviously, it reduces the impact. But if you say that, no, the loan amount should be 20, but if the loan amount is about 20, then any installment, whether it is a 500 rupees or 5,000 rupees should comply, then I guess there is a problem out there.
Okay. So you, on the basis of this, you are not changing your price targets or your rating on the Srirams and the MMFSLs?
No, we are not changing that. What we have said, and for most of these names, was that anyways valuations were high, margin of safety was not there, so we are retaining our reduced call. We will take some time to really understand as to what the regulatory stance exactly is. How are these companies reacting to it? Are they going to buy some time for complying with these regulations? Because you can't directly change things overnight, so on and so forth. So we will see how the scenario plays out, and then kind of take a call on how we should be forecasting these businesses.
Nischint, thank you so much.